When I walk into this space, I get a real buzz. It's fun. It is audacious. It's got attitude, and that really does make it feel exciting. My name is Daniel Stukel, and I'm the architect on the Zig Zag House. So this house is located in Kensington, in Sydney. It's in an unlikely area. It's not common to have these large architectural projects built here. This is a bit of a game changer for the street and for the area.
I'm Andrew Payton from AJP Constructions. I'm the builder for this project. Stukel Architecture and AJP had worked together on a previous project, and we started talking about this unique design. It was something we hadn't seen before, and there was a lot of complexities involved, and Daniel was bouncing ideas off us on how we could do some of the construction and how some of the construction methods could be brought to light, and then we got engaged early in the project.
The initial brief came from the client, and this is a home they've owned for quite a while. And they were looking at returning to their roots and settling down here, but in something quite unique and not your typical residential cottage that you see built up and down these residential streets. So I was asked to look at removing the back portion of the house, building something really inspiring and delightful for them to spend their time and also entertain with their friends. The Zig Zag House has taken its name from the complex ceiling form that we have here in the building, and the complexity at some point was going to have to be communicated to the construction team. The simplest way I found was just taking a piece of paper like this, folding it in a concertina way, sort of like becoming a pleated plane. This here is the general geometry that we have running across the ceiling, but it's joining with the existing building behind us, which has the flat ceiling plane. So if this was stretched flat like this, that's going to be one end of our ceiling plane, and then that out to the west becomes sort of more a pleated plane that starts to have some structural capabilities and also allows for additional modulation to create some of the rooms and spaces that we have, such as the lounge, the dining, and the kitchen.
Being involved early in the process enabled us to work collaboratively with the architect, and we really sat down and looked at a lot of the details and what was currently planned and how we were going to work through some of those obstacles, namely the curve that we had to formulate for the roof. It was a steel structure, so we figured out that we could bring a curved glulam element in, which actually resulted in a significant cost saving and able to get the alignment and the intent that the architect was after.
So the stairs were a necessity on this site, which is sloping, and we have quite a delightful experience when you are moving from one of these planes or one of these levels to the other. Now, I tried to make this stair as comfortable as possible. In fact, it's quite an indulgence because it does take up a lot of the floor area of the home, which is one of the freedoms we had with this design.
So the featured stairs are an integral part of the building. They really link between the old and the new structures. It's all a class 1 off-form finish, and to achieve that and pour that all on site in one single pour was something that took a lot of care in how we were going to design the formwork so we could strip it off and achieve the desired result.
The materials in this home are quite typical and standard. We haven't really introduced anything that is out of the norm, but what we have done is we've treated each material, both in construction and finish, in, I believe, quite a sort of special, unique way, so it's no longer recognizable or seen in its typical form. So some good examples might be, again, this blade column here is a Venetian plaster that is a treatment from base to top, and it is seamless. We've got this beautiful Oregon concrete wall as well, which is showcasing a different grain of timber. Another one is a zigzag ceiling. It's your standard plasterboard but because it's all been taped and set, which means it's like a monolithic continuous surface, people are just confused. They think it might be a big slab of concrete or something else hovering up there above us. But again, it's just the treatment of it that then presents it in a new and interesting way.
The concrete finishes in the house are very prominent and front and centre. There are a lot of different finishes and textures within the concrete itself that we had to work to, and we worked very closely with the client and the architect to achieve what they were after. And we have these large structural columns that support a lot of the beams that are in the ceiling. There's a CD ply finish, which is something that is a little bit unusual and I don't think has been done before. And I think that's a result that we're really proud of, and we thought all the groundwork that we put into it really paid off. And then even just with the window sills, we had the Oregon board transition around the sill with the exact same grain matching around it. So when we poured the concrete, it actually rose up and imprinted that same grain, returning back into the window. So there's a lot of tiny, small details that a lot of people wouldn't notice, but it's something I'm really proud of.
My favourite part of the house is actually this character here on my left, this blade column. It was almost a whimsical idea to insert a column in the centre of a staircase. And it really is the character in the room. It's a very pared back space, it's very controlled, and I felt that we needed a voice or something with a bit of attitude. The reason I think it's so successful is that the exact form that I've originally drawn has been built. And again, this is only possible because of the dedication and smarts of the builder, where he has developed a technique in order to pour this, which would just not have been achievable in any other way.